Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment here for NFL Week 6 picks and predictions. Where yet again we were awful. Straight up going 8-7. It was a difficult week, okay? There were a bunch of upsets last week, but we were 4-1 for my Guaran-damn-tees, making me on the season 19-8-2. This is ridiculous, people. I want to get out right now. But instead, I'm just going to ante up. I'm betting more money. I'm loving this. Oh, hopefully it keeps raining down. So we have NFL Week 6. And we're not going to make much money this week, as I don't love a lot of the games this week, as I don't love a lot of the spreads this week. So we're going to only have 4 Guaran-damn-tees, and I expect for my straight-up picks actually to be decent, but some of them will definitely knock on the way I expect. So don't put too much money in this week. I'm just warning you right now. Let us begin with a Thursday night football game as we have the New York Giants traveling to New England, taking on the New England Patriots, where the New York Giants ain't got nobody for this football game offensively outside of Daniel Jones, and I think Golden Tate. Golden Tate should be back at this point. But that's it, as Saquon Barkley will continue to be out, as Sterling Shepard will be out, and Evan Ingram, who's having a fantastic year, will be out as well. All right, so the Giants will have massive problems scoring in this football game. We were going to pick them anyway, but it makes it even more unwatchable for us. Whereas, if they were completely healthy, I think, hey, they could maybe keep it within 10. Now, no. As I have the New England Patriots winning this game in a quite easy fashion. All right, next game. We have, who do we have? We have, if it wants to come up, the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a game that we saw pretty damn recently. Was that week 2 we saw this game? Why are we already done with the Panthers and Bucs this season? Why were these two teams scheduled to face each other 2 times in the first 6 weeks? And even 2 times within a 5-week span in the first 6 weeks. Doesn't make any sense to me. So here we go with the season series. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the first one in Carolina. And I want to say that that the Panthers are going to return the favor in Tampa Bay. And I quite like the Panthers this season and how they're playing under Kyle Allen. And right now they're undefeated under Kyle Allen. He's looked fantastic. He hasn't looked great, actually. I mean, I'm being a little hyperbolic, but he's looked good enough to win games. And Christian McCaffrey, okay, he's looked fantastic. The Bucs disappointed me last week because I expected them to go to New Orleans to get the victory. They were unable to. However, at home, even though this would be a sweep, I think they get it done. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a fun one. But I think they complete the season sweep of the Panthers. And this is saying something. Because, under the Jameis Winston era and really just over the past decade, the Panthers have had their way with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then there's an opportunity for the Bucs to instead sweep the Panthers. Very interesting stuff. All right, next game. We have the Washington Redskins at the Miami Dolphins. And here we go. The Tua Tagovailoa sweepstakes will be determined here, as I believe, I could be wrong on this, but I believe that the loser of this game, will have the reward of having Tua Tagovailoa. Unless, if the Dolphins win this one, I think they could still end up with Tua, because I think the Redskins, this could be the Dolphins' only win all year, first of all. And then you can see the Redskins end up winning 2 games. I can see that. But outside of that, the loser of this game will be awarded Tua Tagovailoa, unless if Joe Burrow continues to, impress some scouts, or, maybe a Justin Herbert. But it looks like some people are falling off the Justin Herbert train. The Redskins have disappointed me one too many times this year, whereas the Dolphins have not. But that's because my expectations for the Dolphins are so damn low. I don't even expect them to cover the spread. And the spreads, not this game, they can cover the spread this game, but the spreads this season have been 20 plus every game. And even then, I'm like, they probably won't cover. It's tough. Who the hell do we want to pick here? And now Jay Gruden got fired, and I told you before the season he was going to get fired. The writing was on the wall. begrudgingly, give me the Washington Redskins and Bill Callahan to win this game. You just can't pick the Dolphins to win anything. If you do, what game are you playing, dog? You're kind of insane. They haven't done anything. The max amount of points that they scored is 10. So I don't know how you pick the Dolphins to win anything. Whereas at least the Redskins, or at least they were up against the Eagles, and you could say almost won. And at least they were somewhat competitive, in a quarter or two, other than that game. So give me the Redskins, and maybe the Dolphins show up, but they've just been so awful, you really can't pick the Miami Dolphins at this stage. Next game, we have the Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs, the Texans. Deshaun Watson, the fraud Watson, as I call him, is looking pretty damn good. I can't lie. Whereas the Kansas City Chiefs are coming off of a loss in Kansas City against an AFC South opponent named the Indianapolis Colts. And now they host, to me, a better team in the Houston Texans. Very interesting indeed. Now, this is going to be a close game. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a well-fought and battled game. But ultimately, I do think the Kansas City Chiefs will bounce back. I just don't see them losing 2 straight games at home ever. Pretty much in the Patrick Mahomes era, I'd love to see it. As long as Mahomes and Reed are together, I don't think they'll ever lose 2 straight games at home. I really don't. I don't care if they're facing the Patriots one week and pick your NFC team here. I don't think they lose 2 straight weeks at home. So give me the Chiefs to win this game. But it will be a shootout. It will be fun, and I will be watching. I think it's the game of the week. All right, next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. And AFC North battle that no one really cares about here. As the Bengals stink, right? They're going to be watching with their binoculars to see what's going on over in Miami as the Redskins face the Dolphins, because the Bengals are also in that tank for Tua race. Or maybe Joe Burrow again. Hey, I'm watching Joe Burrow lately. So give me the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. Ravens are showing, though, that they're not invincible. Some people think they're the 3rd best team in the AFC. Right now, we don't know who the hell the 3rd best team in the AFC is. You want to pick the Bills, you can't. I ain't going on that train. If that's the 3rd best team in the AFC, you got big problems. But I do think the Ravens win this game at home against the Cincinnati Bengals, who, you guessed it, stink. All right, next game, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Gardner Minshew is legit. And, I had the Jaguars going, I want to say, 6-10 this year. But with Gardner Minshew, they're going to be a playoff contender. The reason I had you going 6-10, Nick Foles stinks. I don't care what he did leading the Eagles to the Super Bowl. That's cute, that's nice, whatever. With great coaching, Foles is pretty damn good. With bad coaching, he stinks. With average coaching, he stinks. With mediocre coaching, he stinks. And that's what I think they have offensively in Jacksonville. That's what I believe. Minshew is legit. And he is putting the Jaguars in playoff contention. I think that continues here, man. And he's also a winner. He knows how to win games. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have not had many games at home. I want to say they've had 1. So now they're returning home where they won. Oh, they've had 2, actually. They lost week 1 against the Chiefs, beat the Tennessee Titans week 3. But now they return home, and they face the Saints team that, look, I know I've been low on the Saints. Too low, and they continue to prove me wrong on that. But I'm sorry, I got to go with the Jags to win this one. I love what Minshew's doing, and Leonard Fournette is back and better than ever in the NFL, finally living up to his potential coming out of LSU. I love the Jags right now. Give me the Jags to win at home. All right, next game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Minnesota Vikings. This is a very intriguing game, where the Philadelphia Eagles are looking to get going, and they have been getting going. They've been looking a lot better lately. They had a very impressive win against Green Bay. We all expected them to beat the Jets, but it's still nice saying they handled them as well as they did. The Vikings, I want to have faith in the Minnesota Vikings. I just don't think it's working out. I don't think they've really, figured anything out. I don't think that they've really solved anything at this stage. I think it was a nice win against a bad team last week. But that's about it. However, the Vikings in Minnesota are damn good. Even this year, they've been damn good. They've handled their business in Minnesota this year. So I can't really pick against them in Minnesota easily. So for that reason and that reason alone, although I believe the Eagles are a better team, Let me be very clear. And you know what? As I think about it, I want to change it, and I'm changing it. I'm changing on the fly. Sometimes I just talk to the game. I talk about the game. I talk through it, and I want to change it on the fly. I had the Vikings winning this. I'm changing it right now because I'm talking about right now. Even though the Vikings have looked pretty damn good at home this year, the Eagles are a better team. And right now, I can't really trust Kirk Cousins to win a very close and tight game like this. He hasn't proved he can do it this season, or with the Vikings in general. Give me the Eagles to go on the road in Minnesota and win this game. I think they can do it right now. The Vikings are going to continue to be a middling team. I don't think they're going to win the NFC North. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they really solved any of their problems last week, except they threw it more. And that was just the nature, again, of the Giants not being very good. So give me the Eagles to go on the road and beat Minnesota in Minnesota. I believe it. All right, next game, you have the Seattle Seahawks at the Cleveland Browns. Now, this is particularly fascinating. Now, everyone is selling their Cleveland Browns stock. All right, everyone's selling it. They don't want it. Get it away from me, whatever. I am not going to do this because all you people had to do, and you people didn't want to do this, but all you people had to do was just pull up the Cleveland Browns schedule, and it would have showed you before the season, oh, damn, they're going to struggle with that schedule. I told you. I have the Cleveland Browns starting 2-5 and finishing 10-6. That is what I told you before the season. I told you they're going to start 2-5. They're 2-3 right now. And this is a game I think they can win, by the way. I'm giving them much more credit winning this game than I had before the season. But you looked at their schedule, going to face the 49ers. I thought facing the Jets in New York was going to be more difficult, but luckily for them, Sam Darnold was out. Facing my Tennessee Titans. They have the New England Patriots coming up after this game. But then guess what, people? This is when things are going to change after 2 more weeks. Because then they face the Bills. I'm not buying into them. You can go ahead and buy into your Buffalo Bills. Go ahead. Enjoy. Then they face the Bengals twice and the Steelers twice. And I'm pretty sure they face... What's the other AFC? I can't remember what AFC division they're playing right now. Oh, they're facing the AFC East. And then they face the Miami Dolphins down the road. Okay, 2 Bengals, 2 Steelers, a Dolphin. That's 5 wins. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they won all of them. Okay, maybe they might choke one against the Bengals or Steelers, but that's it. And I think they win this one. I think that they suck in the Seattle Seahawks, who are playing very well. Yes, they're coming off a 10 days rest, but the Browns have been bing bong this season. And although I don't have much faith in the Baltimore Ravens, beating them 40-25 in the fashion in which they did in Baltimore was impressive. Oh, and by the way, if they can beat Baltimore in Baltimore, they can beat Baltimore in Cleveland. And all Cleveland has to do this season, the only thing Cleveland has to do, to me, to have a successful season, maybe not to everyone, but to me, is to win the division. In order to win the division, we only need to be better than one team because they're definitely going to be better than the other two in the Baltimore Ravens, who they already have the tiebreaker over. So give me the Browns to win this one, to continue their week-to-week inconsistency, which we've seen this season, and I'm still sticking by them easily to win the AFC North, and they may only be at 9-7, but I think that's where we're headed. And I'll still even say 10-6. Put me down for 10-6. But I think 9-7 is going to win the division if they go 9-7. So look out for that. Go ahead and sell your Cleveland Browns. I'm buying low. This is the time to buy. Give me that Cleveland Browns. We got 2 Bengals and 2 Steelers and a Dolphins and a Ravens at home coming up. Or in the Buffalo Bills. Well, I don't have to. Give me some Cleveland Browns stock. All right, next game. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the LA Rams. This is an NFC West battle of epic proportions right now. Whereas, right now we have the Rams, struggling a little bit, losing 2 straight games. 49ers are 4-0. They could get a 3, actually technically 2.5, but essentially a 3-game lead on the LA Rams, who if they lose this game would be 3-3, 49ers would be 5-0. So 2.5 technically, but 3 in the loss column. Big, huge right now this early in the season. 49er fans, not quite buying it yet. I like a lot of what you're doing, and I do believe you guys are going to make the playoffs. I'll buy that. Are you a Super Bowl contender? I'm not buying that. No. And I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is actually playing particularly well right now, to be quite honest with you. I think the run game is just so good. And the defense is going to have its issues. Trust me, when it faces better teams, the defense is going to have its issues. Browns right now are not a very good team. They don't have their chemistry and cohesion together yet. So I'm not buying the 49ers yet. This game will tell us a lot. Give me the 49ers to lose this one against the Rams. Give me the 49ers to make the playoffs eventually. So I do like the 49ers more than I did in the preseason, but I still think there are troubles ahead. And just be careful of that. Be very, very wary of that. All right, next game we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, who cares? But finally, hey, the Arizona Cardinals, they proved me right. They defeated somebody. Yay! Kyler Murray looked fantastic. And he's going to continue to look damn good in this one, as the Falcons are making every quarterback who looks them look fantastic. Mariota, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Deshaun Watson, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 0 sacks in the past 2 weeks. 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. For any quarterback that is facing the Atlanta Falcons. And now they travel to Arizona. So give me the Arizona Cardinals to win this game in Arizona. It will be a shootout, and Matt Ryan will continue to put up his statistics. But that's all he's going to have to show. All right, next game. We have the Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos. Oh, boy. Here we go again. Yeah, the Tennessee Titans. Now, I think the story is going to change here. I think the narrative of this game is going to be a slightly different. As I think we're going to see a close Tennessee Titans game that they win. Okay, and look, this is where you can say my bias comes in, and that's fine. But all we have seen is the Tennessee Titans win 1 week and lose another and go on the road and win and look impressive and then lose the next week. Like, that's been their move. And even if you're a Tennessee Titans hater, you can admit that. And the Denver Broncos, they had a very impressive road win last week against the LA Chargers, but they know the LA Chargers. They don't know the Tennessee Titans that well. And in fact, I want to say the last time they faced the Tennessee Titans, they lost. That should have been 2016. Yeah. So, I expect more of the same. Give me the Tennessee Titans to beat the Denver Broncos here. If the Tennessee Titans lose this game, the wheels could come off. And a lot of people will definitely, people are panicking right now, but people will definitely be panicking if they lose in Denver. So hopefully we don't have to go down that road. All right, next game we have the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Jets. Sam Darnold making his long-awaited return. But the thing is, he ain't gonna solve all your problems, dog. Okay, see how the Steelers aren't that much worse without Big Ben. Like, they're worse, without a doubt, but they're still competitive. They're gonna lose, right? Mason Rudolph is not good enough to beat the Seahawks. He's not good enough to beat the Ravens, although he did miss the second half of that game in overtime. He's not good enough to beat teams, but he's gonna have to keep you close. Luke Falk, okay, he's not a good quarterback. He's a third string. However, the Jets have looked so awful without Sam Darnold, and I told you, Jets fans, before the year, because I had you guys going 7-9, and I wanted to go 6-10. Your team still ain't very good, and if you think Le'Veon Bell is going to answer all your problems, no, your receivers still stink, your tight end position still stinks, although I like Chris Herndon, he finally comes back, but your tight end position is still not very good, definitely with outside of him. Your offensive line still stinks, and your defense is still average, although it's looking much better, we think. It hasn't looked that great this past week, or the past number of weeks. So the Jets just aren't very good. So don't expect the Jets to now start winning games. Now expect them to make the leap of start being competitive and losing. But they're going to lose. And I face a Dallas Cowboys team who is desperate for a win, coming off of 2 losses. So give me the Cowboys to win this one. All right, next game. We have, if it wants to come up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the LA Chargers. They look much better on the docket. Right, they look much better in pencil and pen when they were writing it down in the offseason. Doesn't look very good now, as Devlin Hodges will be the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. Yay. Although he didn't look that bad, honestly, but I'm sure he's going to come down to earth this week. The Chargers have been what I expected them to be. A lot of people thought the Chargers might be a Super Bowl contender, this and that. I told y'all 8-8. I told y'all 8-8. From the LA Chargers this season. This is what I told you all. And it's proven to be correct. However, they're 2-3 right now, so it's time for them to go 3-3. Give me the LA Chargers to win this game at home. I don't have faith in Devlin Hodges. All right, next game we have the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. Woo! My Detroit Lions. All right, here's their opportunity to go to Green Bay and defeat Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers and prove once, and maybe not for all, but prove once that they are on their way to winning the NFC North as I predicted before the season. Everyone laughed before the season. Not so much laughing now. However, they're going to lose this game in Green Bay to me. Now, they've surprised even me this season with some of their performances as they almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs and they almost lost to the Arizona Cardinals. So I don't really know what to expect from this team week to week, but I know overall I still like them to win the division. Even though the Packers will be 5-1 after this game, mind you, I would still like them to win the division. So give me the Packers to win this game because it is Green Bay and Green Bay. And although the Lions had one very impressive win in Green Bay, I want to say 2 seasons ago, maybe it was last season, I want to say 2 seasons ago, I don't think on Monday Night Football they pull it off. So give me the Packers to win this one. All right, with that said, we move on to what a lot of you have been waiting for. My Guaran-damn-tees of the week. These are my betting picks of the week. Where again we are 19, 8, and 2. I've more than doubled my money at this point. This is the best investment you can make out there, people. Nothing gives you a 100% return except for my Guaran-damn-tees. Now again, I don't have much faith in these, so we're only going to give 4 this week, and some of them are hilarious, but we're going to make them anyway. Let's start with New England and New York Giants, where the over-under is 41. Now, the Giants don't have squat, okay? They have Wayne Gallman and Daniel Jones, and I don't expect them to put up many points, but I expect them to put up at least 10. And I think New England against this horrible Giants defense on a Thursday night can spot maybe up to 31 necessary. So give me the over 41 there. Now, here is where we roll the dice. Or the die, whichever one. I guess we're rolling. It's only one die, but we'll roll it. Where we have the Washington Redskins minus 3.5. I'm either gonna love this or hate this, man. I can't believe just days after they fired Jay Gruden, I'm going to bet on an 0-5 football team. But luckily for them, they're facing what might be the worst football team of all time. They're already that point differential-wise. And I looked at their stats probably changed after the 4th game where they played a little bit better. But after the 3rd game, it was just comical. Points per game was 6. Like, it was like 6.5 or something. And then points against was 42. Their yards per game was like 150, maybe 200. And the yards allowed was like 450. I was just looking in shock. I mean, this is one of the worst teams of all time. The Redskins have at least at times looked competitive. They still have Adrian Peterson. They still have Chris Thompson. They still have Scary Terry McLaurin. And Colt McCoy. I don't know who they're starting. I mean, somebody can tell me that because I'd love to. I don't know who they're starting at quarterback. It's not Dwayne Haskins, though. I know that. But either Case Keenum or Colt McCoy can get this done. Hey, even in Miami, go beat one of the worst teams of all time, please. Minus 3.5. I'm betting on it. We'll see what happens. All right, we have the Chargers minus 6.5. Now, I'm going to bet on the LA Chargers. I know the LA Chargers. I know how unpredictable they are. I knew they weren't going to cover that minus 6. I think it was minus 6. Yeah, they were minus 6.5 last week against the Denver Broncos. I'm not going to cover that. But against this upcoming team, against the, who's coming to town again? The Pittsburgh Steelers with Devin Hodges. No, all of a sudden their defense is going to look all world. It's going to look great. All of a sudden Philip Rivers is going to get his thing going. He's going to get to Melvin Gordon and Eckler and Keenan. They're going to look great. This is LA Chargers, and I use that to my advantage when I know when the Chargers are going to come out and when they're not going to. And then finally, the last pick of the week, we have the Detroit Lions plus 4.5. I'll take the plus 4.5. You know, I think they'll cover that. And I think at the very least it'll be a backdoor cover because with Kerryon Johnson and Kenny Golladay and TJ Hawkinson, who's had some nice performances, he's been a little consistent, but some nice performances, I think they're at least in play for a backdoor cover. So give me the Detroit Lions plus 4.5, and that's it. All right, I'm giving you 4, and that's it. I'm not risking this week. There's not enough lines that I like this week. We're just going to take our money, hold on to it, and wait for the next one. So with that said, those are my Week 6 picks and predictions. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.